glad that you have joined two kick butt Reiki mistresses, even though Robin says, I don't know. Reiki mistresses is a really funny name from the
I'm okay
Healing
with it.
Place Energy School. My name's Helen Chin Liu. I am a certified reflexologist, certified energy practitioner, Reiki master and teacher, and the author of two books, which you probably can't see, Know Your Chakras and Foot Reflexology to Promote Relaxation. And this
Show
is
them,
my co-host.
Robin Bornstein, but Helen, show them your book on your chakras. I love the cover. The cover is really pretty.
I know.
And it's
Sometimes I remember to promote my book, and sometimes a lot of soul went into this book. 15 years of experience. 15 years of, I would say 10,000 sessions went into making of this book. So for those people who are interested in learning about energy flow, which I encourage every single person who's going into energy work to learn about chakras. Okay, I did it, Robin.
Okay. Yes, you need to share that book because it's a great book.
Yes. And it's so funny because we were talking about life purposes and how it affects all of us. Like Robin started to ask me today, well, Helen, how's your day? And I'm thinking to myself, in relationship to life purposes, I am living my life purposes, but it does not mean I don't get aggravated. Aggravated. So what's your take on life purpose? And then I want to jump into some thoughts.
Okay, so hello to anyone who's here watching. Life purpose is tricky. I think most people would love to, are living their life purposes. Maybe they are not even aware of it. But then there are those that are seeking their life purpose because they're unhappy with whatever situation they're in. And sometimes when you find that life purpose, it doesn't mean that life is perfect, which I think people who are on that search for their life purpose feel that maybe that is how it's going to pan out once they find their life purpose, that all will be well. And, we're human beings and we're still going to get aggravated things, even if you're living your best life and you're living your life purpose, stuff comes up.
Yeah. And, and it's so funny, one of the things I was telling a client today, since she started her awakening process, and the awakening process is all of a sudden you literally hear something calling you to step up. And there's something inside of you that's no longer satisfying, because even though you might have the most perfect life, sometimes during an awakening or a shift in life purpose, there's a calling. And I talk a lot about this in my 15-part course, First Step to Your Spiritual Journey. And once the calling begins to call, it sometimes shouts. And some of us and do it gracefully. Some we get to pull through the mud. Some keep falling into the pits of life purpose work because it's always such resistance.
Yes. And I just heard the term the other day, and I don't know if it was from you, Helen, or someone else in my circle. We were talking about mud rakers. Who?
Mud breakers?
Mud rakers. When you say when you're in the mud, are you breaking the mud? I'm trying to remember the conversation that I was having, but you just reminded me of it when you said when you're in the mud or you're in the thick of things. But some of us are mud rakers.
So does that mean you're continuously falling to the side of the road?
Yes, you start and stop, start and stop.
Well, that's nothing unusual.
No, it's not.
People always ask me, Helen, what is my life purpose? And the best and most simple answer that I could give somebody is, what do you struggle with the most? That is the lesson that you're supposed to learn.
And that's hard to hear.
It is hard to hear. And I have no qualms of sharing what is my life purpose. One of my purposes that I am supposed to learn is patience and compassion.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put 3, and empathy. And You might be thinking, but Helen, you're a healer. Aren't you supposed to have all of those? No, I have my good days and I have my bad days just like everyone else. The only difference is I know when I'm having a bad day and I know that I have fallen into the side of the road.
And you know how to get yourself back on track.
Well, it's struggle. And what about you, Robin? And everybody who's out there, share. Share.
Yes, share.
What do you struggle with?
I guess my biggest struggle, and you know what my biggest struggle is, Helen, because you know me. My biggest struggle is being able to, putting myself out here on social media was a huge struggle. Putting myself out in public like this it was a struggle for me. Selling myself, I can sell everybody else, and I'm so good at networking, and I can refer people to, someone, or, I can help people. And I've even had my own healing clients who I've then referred on to other healers, different types of healers, because I feel I want to help them. So I'm like, oh, I know that, this type of healing modality would be great, and go. But I'll tell you, the people who do the homework that I give them like that, they always come back to me. They always come back because what I sent them, or whoever I sent them to, or whatever I found for them that I felt they needed, worked, and they're so happy. They want to come back to me for more. So I do have a hard time selling myself, but I just did it.
You did.
So I'm getting there. I'm getting better at it. Like, that's something I do. I will send people on if I decide to change a circumstance, about a life circumstance or whatever it is. I'm able to do that, or help people with that, for myself and with others. But it's hard. It's hard work. It's hard work, people. Healing is an inside job, just like happiness.
I think Alexa is possessed. Alexa off. Alexa off.
What just happened?
Yeah. So think about this. How do we sabotage ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's part of the life journey too. Because sometimes when we'll offer gifts or opportunities, think how many times the first thing you go to is fear. And I can't do this. If you notice that is your number one response, I'm going to suggest re-examine.
That's good advice.
Yeah, because what gets in the way of life purpose work is your doubts.
Yes, I agree. Doubting yourself, and sometimes doubting your decision making, not having the confidence in making decisions for yourself. That's doubt right there. But asking for too much advice, like I recently was asking for advice from different people, and it just confused.
Robin stopped asking me for advice a long time ago.
It confused. I definitely know what I want, but sometimes what I want, I don't know if it's right.
See,
does it matter?
No, because one thing about life purpose work, there is no guarantee. True. There really isn't. And the only thing that stops you from living that life is somewhere you can't find the courage, or you're waiting for someone to give you permission. If you notice that. So you go ask the spouse, you ask your best friend, and you're praying that they give you the answer you want to hear. Or worse, they give you an answer you don't want to hear.
And then what do? Then you're back at where you were when you started.
Exactly. And I think what it does is it lends to confusion, because you do end up becoming more confused because you're trying to take this advice and that advice. And people think that we're only here and we only have one life purpose. And that is not true.
I agree with that 100%. We can have multiple purposes.
So notice as you shift, new opportunity comes. What served you at one point, notice, is it still serving you? And Robin, you've come a long way in the few years, especially the last 2 years. She's taken on new jobs, which she, you could explain, Robin. I don't need to.
Yeah, no, I took on a job, and I always was, I've decided that, I need to, if something's not working for me, I do this work, and I've been doing this work for a very long time and love it, and would love. Oh, we have a little visitor.
I know
Um,
it's raining heavy, so he's nervous. This is Milo, everybody.
Oh, hi, Milo. I haven't seen Milo in person for a long time.
Yes, I'm sorry to interrupt.
So no, where was it? Where was I going with this? Anyway, I think it's okay to change your mind, change your job. If your life purpose was one thing 2 years ago or a year ago or a month ago, it's okay to change your life purpose. We find, we all have changes in our lives. Things happen, we learn, and then we adjust and we move on and we find a new purpose. So we find a different way, we shift. I guess we could call it shape shifting.
Exactly.
It's like changing careers. You want to, that's almost like changing a life purpose, changing careers. How many people change careers?
Well, yeah. And the same thing as like being mothers, and all of a sudden our children are no longer small. And I remember saying this to my son when especially when I first started the business back in 2006. I remember he was saying to me, Mom, you're not the same person, the same mom when I was little. And I was saying, but I'm a different person now. This is part of the life journey. And I said to him, 10 years from now, the mom you see right now, she's going to be gone.
And that's okay. That's not a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's definitely not. And oh, thank you, Heather. She's a kick butt person who's listening.
Hello, Heather.
Yeah, hi, Helen. And feel free to jump in with your thoughts, because this is really important. Because even though Robin and I, we talk about our perspectives, but that's what they are, our perspectives and from our observations. So all we're here is basically giving you choices.
And what choices have you had to make, Helen, lately in your work life, family life balance? Have you had to? I mean, because you have a busy healing practice, you have a busy full life, family life. I mean, it's tough to balance.
And don't forget the online school, which
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna confess here. Today, I just felt like crying. I do that because what happens is I finally I recognize I'm overloaded, I'm overwhelmed. And you just have to have that emotional release. And I was telling my web mistress, see, I call all of us mistresses. And I was saying to her, I usually like to schedule my crying on Friday. And she says, Helen, really? You like to schedule your crying on Friday? Well, something got to mark at the end of the week, because I really don't have an end of the week. So if I cry on Friday, I know it's the end of the week. Sorry, I got crazy. I'm trying not to laugh too loud, otherwise it'll be going into the microphone. So I get overwhelmed, even with the life journey, and I'm living my life journey, but it doesn't mean I don't get overwhelmed.
And I think that's where people end up with feeling
inadequate,
self-doubt, disappointment, and then you can end up, depression can set in when you are feeling that way, and recognizing and being okay with it, that feeling's normal. It will pass. It may stay for a while, but it will pass eventually. And there'll be, what do I do? I think I do this on all of our videos. It's like life is like this.
Exactly. We have to do this, because if we did this, we go up. Oh, wrong hand. Let's see. If you go up, you always come down. So it's better to do little movement like this.
Absolutely.
This way you're never overly high and you're never overly low.
Absolutely. And that's just a much better place to breathe.
Yes.
right?
So I'm hoping that Rob and I are sharing, giving you some things to think about, and hopefully give you choices.
And if you're looking for, help in finding your life purpose or connecting your mind, body, soul, and just, learning about meditation, Reiki, healing work, energy work, whatever it is that you're seeking, start with a simple class. Go to the Healing Place Energy School website, see what we have to offer. You're, investing in yourself, and your classes aren't a ton of money, Helen. I mean, you look at what's out there and what some people are charging for some of these classes. I mean,
Well, I don't, to me, if I make enough to live and pay staff, that's basically all I'm
right.
going
I
to
mean,
do.
but your classes are reasonably priced for someone to come in, and if you're new to healing work, or you're new to spirituality, this is a good place to come in, dip your toe
Sure.
and learn.
And the way I present is no different than talking to you right now. I'm pretty much down to earth, but mostly what I want to convey is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to live your 1,000 shades of life purpose. If you have you can have literally thousands of different life purposes. And if you don't fulfill them in this lifetime, there's a continuation in the next. I truly believe that. What's your thoughts about that, Robin?
Oh, I have a lot of thoughts about that. I don't, and my thoughts probably aren't that. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's too. We don't have enough time here. What time is it?
I know, because we got to do meditation soon.
Exactly. We could have a whole class on my thoughts, but
Oh, I would love that. We could do that for next week.
yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on, reincarnation, and, past lives, future lives. There's a lot there, but right now I like to focus on, I feel it's important to stay here in the now, and really learn the lessons that we're supposed to learn now, and pay attention to what it is that's coming up for you in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Heal,
Definitely.
heal here, heal now. Um, and that will just make your life here and now better.
True. And be here, be now. That's what I
And
usually
and
say.
and if you're healing your who you are in this lifetime and learning the lessons that you need to learn now, you're going to repair all of the past and hopefully all of the future.
And break the
So
cycle.
yes, and break the cycle, and be in the present, which is something I think we all wish to achieve. Easier said than done.
Right.
But working on our stuff now, working on whatever it is you need to work on. We all have stuff we need to work on.
So this is my suggestion. If there is something, if there's a what I call lesson that's repeated in your life, and you know what they are, it could be different scenarios, different people, but it's the same lesson. That is the life purpose you're supposed to focus now. And see how you can make a change, either in the way you respond, or maybe you do something, whatever action plan you have behind it. See if you can make the slightest change, because all it requires is just a tiny change to require that shift to happen.
And shift, and when you're trying to make those changes, come from the most loving place that you can come from, with an open heart.
Yes. And Heather says when she gets overwhelmed, she gets angry and needs to start to cry. In a way, that's really good, Heather, if you could do that without feeling. See, well, I'm going to say this, another omission, confession about to make. When I cry, I get exhausted, because it's like a pimple that you just burst, and all that pus is coming out. It's the same thing with emotions. And all of a sudden, I am so drained. And I could just be crying for 1 minute, and that will wipe me out for the next 24 hours.
What do you do when you're wiped out? Do you rest? Do you because I know
I have to.
you don't stop. So what do you do? Do you
I
actually?
really do. Like today, I even watch TV in the middle of the afternoon.
That's unusual for you.
Yeah, it's very unusual, and I just had to stop.
What did you watch? Anything good?
Ellen,
Oh, okay.
the
Okay.
final season. And I go, oh, why is this a final season? But
Yeah, because you don't watch TV, you don't pay attention. You're so busy, you don't even know why.
no, well, we'll have to talk about the why another time. But
It's
so
because
I
it's
love
time.
this.
No, there's no why. I think she did have some controversy, but it's just time. Time for
Well,
her.
yes. Again, she's shifting, right? She's
Mm-hmm.
going into her next phase of her life purpose work, whatever that means. That's the thing about life purpose. It's constantly moving
And changing.
and changing.
And she's something came up with her show. There was a controversy.
Hmm.
That meant it was time for her to change, time for her to move on to a new project, time for her to create something different, time for her to take a break.
Yeah, it's just like what Oprah did.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah started her production and she picks and chooses what she wants to do. And to me, that's mental freedom. And people say, but Helen, they got money. Sometimes what happens when you get stuck in that mindset that how am I going to do this? Which is the biggest thing is number one is fear. I remember this very clearly when I opened my business in 2006. How am I going to do this during the recession? And nobody knew what reflexology was, and Reiki was just starting to be heard.
I know now it's in hospitals. People can find Reiki volunteers in hospitals to help them. I mean, it's becoming very mainstream, which is very exciting.
So yes, it is. And the thing what you need to do is take that step forward. Even one step. Take a step forward. If you
Mhm.
happen to take two steps back, that's okay. Continue with the next step. And if
Yes.
you fall behind, so what? Get up.
Get up and start over again.
Start all over and we'll continue.
Yes.
All right, Robin, do you feel up for a little meditation to
Yes. What
get
time is
people?
it? Let's see. It is okay. Yes. So let's do a 10-minute meditation. I was thinking about the meditation I was going to do tonight. I feel that people need to be grounding.
Yes, all
Yes.
the time.
All the time. And it's easy to be out in the universe. And I would like to do a nice grounding exercise. So I want everyone to get as comfortable as possible. So if you're sitting in a chair like me,
I'm going to do Reiki and I'm going to just shine the light on Robin.
okay, so sit up in your chair and put your hands in your lap with your palms up. If you're lying down, lie down with your arms by your side with your palms facing up. And if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. If that's not comfortable, just rest your eyes. Relax your eye muscles. Notice your breathing. Let's begin by taking 3 cleansing breaths. I would like you to breathe in as deeply as you can and exhale as loudly as you can 3 times. Let's begin. Inhale. Exhale. Relax your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. Feel the weight of your feet on the floor beneath you. Feel the energy in your feet connecting with the gravity of the earth. You cannot see the gravity. You cannot feel the gravity, but it is there. This energy is connecting you to the earth, keeping you grounded. It's always with you. And just sit with feeling comfortable and cozy with the connection to Mother Earth. Remember, during meditation, you want to be present. So follow my cues. Notice your breathing. Feel the weight of your body connecting with the earth below you. Visualize the energy around your feet, connecting with the earth, coming up and around you, surrounding you, protecting you, and keeping your body safe here on earth. This energy is here with you always as you move throughout your day, throughout your life, connecting you to the energy of the earth. And taking a nice deep inhale and exhale. Notice the temperature around your body. Notice the air coming in and out of your nose. This beautiful, beautiful energy that surrounds your body, this air that we breathe. Breathe it in and out. Feel the weight of your body again. Do you feel different now that you've become aware of the energy connecting you to the earth below? And notice your breathing. How is your breathing? Is it soft and slow? Remember, at any time during meditation, you can always take another deep inhale at any time you need to. Now begin to move your feet, feeling the energy coming back into your toes. Wiggle your toes. Now rest your toes and just gently wiggle your ankles, feeling the energy coming back up into your legs. Move your knees gently. And feel your hips. If you're lying down, just sway your hips back and forth gently. If you're sitting in a chair, just slowly move your hips, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders, wiggle your fingers. And open your eyes, come back to the room, and just shrug your shoulders a little bit. Wake up. Just a nice quick meditation to ground with the planet. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Robin.
And
Just
remember,
what I needed. And I have my puppy in my lap.
oh, good.
Yeah.
So, whenever anyone, you're like, Helen had it sounds like you had a stressful day, Helen, and you still showed up today. And we
that's
did this.
What it is.
And
we both had a stressful day and we both showed up.
Yes. And you know what? Just, showing up for yourself and grounding, connecting with the planet and feeling we're here, we're alive.
Yeah, we are. Good. So this is a wonderful way to segue what we're going to do next Tuesday on November 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not certain when the clock falls back, so just be aware. How about this? We accept ourselves with grace, accept our situation with grace without judgment.
I love that.
Right? That's a big one because as women, we are so critical of making a mistake. Let's give ourselves grace.
I love that. Thank you.
And feel free. We have some what I call important personal resources in the box below about the school. If you just check it out, we are so proud of the Healing Place Energy School. It's probably taken us 7 years to create this school. There's 24 courses that comprise of chakra balancing, reflexology, meditation, self-care, how to establish a business, how to stay present for clients. In fact, I'm about to add another lesson. Before we even start marketing, I'm like, I keep creating courses because I can't help myself. Start with that first step of your spiritual journey. I think it's a great course to begin with, or Chakra 101, Know Your Energy. If you learn what goes in here, you'll never be a slave to your emotions again. I pretty much could guarantee it.
Yes, and you'll bounce back quicker when your emotions.
Oh, yes, you bounce back much quicker.
Yes.
I remember when I used to be in a ditch for months. So please share, subscribe, follow, like, do that ding, ding, ding thing if I do that subscription. But we are just so pleased that you've joined us and becoming part of our lives.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Yes, and be safe.
Yes,
Bye-bye,
be safe. Be well.
Bye-bye.
Bye.